Hey guys, I hope that we are live. I'm just gonna put a story on Instagram about this so that people who have forgotten can join in. So, wait a minute. Where is the link? So, you guys let me know your thoughts in the meantime while I'm just uploading the story on Instagram and just checking all of those things. Let me know your thoughts about the Drive to Survive season 7 in the comments. I want to read it. I'll read it in the chat and let's have a discussion about it. Yeah, let me just post a story. So I'm just putting up a story for now so that more people join in. Okay, done. So I've put up a story now. Hi Nimit, so excited to see you back. It's gonna be one hell of a season. Yeah, I mean, if we see the preseason testing so far, everyone's saying like every team is saying that McLaren is gonna be the best and they have a big advantage. And some reports to some level are saying that it's gonna be over a second, which I don't believe. I mean, I don't think McLaren is 1 second faster than everybody else, but yeah, I do see them starting a bit strong in the first couple of races, and I do think that Ferrari will catch up to them, in the next 4 to 5 races. But actually, we are here to talk about the Drive to Survive season 7. So I hope that you guys have seen it because I saw the whole season in one day, and like within 10 hours, I saw the whole Drive to Survive season 7. And I episode by episode, I was making notes about the things that I want to talk with you guys about it. So yeah, we're gonna do that. I honestly feel that this time the season 7 was actually a lot better than the last 2 3 seasons. I mean, if I count 2021, 2022, 2023, I mean, those seasons were quite horrible. And they did not cover everything. I mean, in 2021, we had such a great title battle, and still the season was extremely okay. It was not that great. So I feel in that sense, they did do a justice to, the whole 2024 season, which was crazy from the day one, like with the whole Hamilton going to Ferrari thing, and then Horner, the whole thing that happened. They covered everything well in the first episode, and we actually got behind the scenes, which is what Drive to Survive was for. Yeah, I mean, I agree with this comment in the chat that this DTS was better than any other DTS season by far. Like I said, so DTS basically, I think the point is that we just need behind the scenes of like the drivers, the teams, and everything. We don't need anything else. We don't need drama. And that I think they executed well here, especially, I mean, the fifth episode with the whole Carlos Sainz going to Williams, that whole signing thing, I think they covered it very well. And I did not know that he ghosted Williams in the first get go because of Alpine and Flavio. And then eventually he came back to Williams again. So that whole thing was really nice to see. Apart from that, my next favorite episode was episode 7, because in that you could see that behind the scenes vlogging that Leclerc, Albon, Russell, Lando, and I think there was one more person, Gasly. Yeah, they were all doing that behind the scenes vlogging for Singapore Grand Prix, and I found that pretty cool. There were a couple of lame episodes as well. I think episode 2 was quite lame because, wait, let me just refer to my notes. Yeah, so I think episode 2 was a little bit lame because honestly, there they were creating a bit of a fake drama about Lando and McLaren. Like, first of all, they were portraying Max as a villain, and Lando is this extremely nice guy who likes to play with dogs and puppies, and Max is, I don't know what, a serial killer. So that was a little bit of that unnecessary DTS drama that they were creating. And I think there was also this discrepancy where they're showing Lando's win in Miami, and then suddenly they switched to a clip from Max in Zandvoort. So that was once again a mismatch to create drama, because if I remember correctly, after the Miami win, everybody in the grid, even all of the fans, everybody was happy for Lando. Max even had that iconic if my mom had balls, she would be my dad dialogue in the press conference. I mean, he was supporting Lando throughout. So I feel DTS did not catch that, and that was not nice. And yeah, another thing and I think in the other thing, it was the third episode where they were focusing on Russell and Mercedes, and that's where. Okay, wait. There is a thing which is saying to increase my volume. I think this should be fine now. I think, yeah, this should be fine. Slightly a little, yeah. Yeah, and then there was this other thing. I think I was talking about the episode 3. That's when they were doing the Russell Lewis episode, Mercedes episode, how they got Kimi at the end of the day. So that was a bit too much because they did not show that Russell was getting disqualified from the Belgian Grand Prix. So that was something which was completely opted out for viewers. And I mean, if someone who's not watching the F1 season and they're just watching DTS, they would just feel that Russell won the Belgian Grand Prix, whereas Lewis did because Russell got disqualified. So yeah, that was a little bit weird. Plus, on top of that, I don't think the Silverstone win that Hamilton got after 2021 was covered properly. So there were a couple of things here and there, but overall, I do feel that it was a much better season. And yeah, one thing that I realized after watching DTS is that Zach Brown is hated by Christian Horner a lot more than Christian Horner hates Toto Wolff. I mean, Christian is calling Zach a prick, and then he's like, I don't want to lose to Zach. And I had no idea that he hated Zach so much. And of course, there were a couple of things missing in the Drive to Survive season as well. I'm going to come back to the chat. I know a lot of you guys have uh, comments here, so I'm going to come back to that. So don't worry. I'm just, finishing off with my DTS rant. And after that, we can come back. So, yeah, another thing I felt was they missed out a couple of plot lines. For example, Aston Martin was completely ignored from the whole season. So they did not participate. And apart from that, I think they did not cover Adrian Newey leaving. They did also not cover the Lewis Hamilton, George Russell qualifying struggles and everything that was happening behind the scenes. And apart from that, they did not mention Ollie Behrman doing a debut in Ferrari. I mean, Ollie had 3 races, I think, one for Ferrari, one for Haas, and another one for Haas later on. And they only covered the third race. They never showed him coming in Ferrari, just stepping in, doing a debut, getting points, because they did that for Russell in 2020. So I don't know why they did not do that here. And also, Franco Colapinto was missing from the entire season. I don't know why, because he's a pretty marketable driver in Argentina and places and places around that. So I don't know why they skipped on him completely, because he also had a good season, and I felt that he needed some coverage. But who do you think was the most standout character in the Drive to Survive season 7? Because for me it was Flavio. That guy completely looks like a villain. A couple of people would know the backstory about him and the whole Crashgate thing that happened in Singapore 2008. and because of that, Felipe Massa is doing a case for his title in 2008. So there is a big backstory, but yeah, he's a bit of a character. I'm just like seeing what else have I missed, and I think they did not do a proper goodbye to everyone that was leaving. We had a lot of drivers leaving the grid. There was Bottas, there was Zhou Guan Yu, there was Kevin Magnussen. So many people. They did not do that. Only they only did that for Daniel Ricciardo because he sort of started the DTS from first season. And then I think they did not give an intro on all of the rookies completely that are coming into the 25 season, but I guess that's for the next DTS season. And I remember Toto had this really nice radio message at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix for Lewis that we will always root for you, and if we don't win, you should. They skipped that. I think they should have added that. But yeah, pretty much that's what I have to say about Drive to Survive. You guys let me know your thoughts about it. I'm gonna go to chat and I'm gonna start reading all of them one by one. So, what are my thoughts on Lewis? I actually just posted a reel about this on my Instagram page today about like why he could potentially not win a title with the Ferrari in 2025 because there are a lot of obstacles. I mean, you have to beat your teammate, then there is Max, and then there are the two McLaren drivers which could potentially who could potentially have a really strong car. So, I think it's very tough for him honestly. 2026 maybe, but 2025 if he can do that then nothing like it. Leclerc, will he win? Possible, because I do think that Ferrari would do well this season. So I hope maybe Leclerc, Hamilton. Let's see. Will Norris win the World Drivers' Championship? I think that right now, if you have to put a money on a driver, it has to be Norris because they seem to have the car sorted out. They seem to be the favorites with respect to like every team, every driver you ask. Everyone thinks McLaren has an advantage over the rest of the grid. So it wouldn't be too wrong to assume that Norris could win the World Driver Championship. Can Max win a championship this season? I am of the opinion that he won't. Honestly, I don't doubt Max. Once again, I have made a reel about this, but I don't think Red Bull has made that enough progress in comparison to Red Bull, in comparison to Ferrari and McLaren to close that gap. Max can do what he can, but after a point, you are limited by the car because you have seen Fernando's whole career. He's always gotten bad cars to drive. So that's only that much a driver can do. But if the Red Bull is, let's say, within 2 tenths or something, I think Max can do his magic and still have a shot at the title. Hot takes, please. I think Williams is not going to do as great as people are thinking them to be because last year they were struggling quite well and they cannot make a crazy jump in their car within a year, especially when everybody wants to focus on 2026. So I don't buy that story that because Sainz is going to Williams now, suddenly they're going to be competing for podiums or something like that. Maybe in a one off race if something crazy happens, but ideally, I don't see them finishing better than P7 or P8. Okay, what is another hot take? Can't think of much. Maybe I'll make a reel about this, but as of now, my two hot takes were this one about Williams and one about Max not winning the championship. Do you think Russell's condition post Singapore Grand Prix was a bit exaggerated? There are so many young drivers and also other drivers in the race who didn't seem to struggle. I don't think you can compare that. Singapore, in general, everybody has spoken that it has been one of the hottest races and it takes a big toll. And every car reacts differently in the cockpit when you're driving around the track. So maybe his car was overheating a bit more and that's why he did it because they go to Singapore almost every other year and it doesn't happen to him every year. It happened this year, so I don't think it was I don't think it was exaggerated. He was complaining about it on the radio as well when he was driving the car during the race. We have heard that live, so yeah, it seemed legit. This year will be great with four cars competing for championship: McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull. Maybe, I don't know. Max's time was very less in the show. Well, that's because he does not like Try to Survive. Have you not seen his rants? Because DTS has always painted him sort of a villain. So I think for 2021, because that was such a controversial season, he decided not to be a part of DTS. So that's why. And after that, they convinced him really well for the next two seasons. He tried to be there, but once again, he was missing in 2024. So Max has a thing with DTS. Don't think too much about it. What do you think about Williams and Carlos Sainz? How do you think they will perform? I mean, I already spoke about it 5 minutes back. That's what I feel. Do you like Seb Vettel? He is my favorite driver. I think everybody likes Vettel. He has no haters, man. So basically, I don't think a lot of you guys must have followed him in the 2010s when he was winning. Some of you might have, a lot of you might not have seen that. So everybody used to hate Seb back then. Everybody used to find him really, they used to not like him. They used to villainize Seb, and everybody used to boo Seb on track because he was constantly winning. And he was quite proud about it. So yeah, so there was a phase where people did not like him, but then Ferrari happened, everything happened, and then he's one of the most likable drivers on the grid, off the grid now. Thoughts on Kimi? I think he's gonna be one of the best performing rookies. First of all, because he's in a Mercedes. We also have Liam Lawson. I don't know if you can count Lawson as a rookie because he's had like half season and a couple of races. So I don't know, but I think Kimi would be the best performing rookie. The Mercedes car should be decent because every other rookie is in Haas and Stake and all of those teams. So Kimi definitely has an advantage with respect to the car. Thoughts on Kushmani to Alpine? Do you think he will make it to the main grid? So I actually saw this yesterday. Today. Sorry, I actually saw this today morning, and it's a really nice thing that he's officially now the reserve driver of the Alpine team. But the problem is he's the fourth reserve driver now of the Alpine team. So no idea what's going on with Alpine. And considering there is Flavio calling all of the shots, so I don't know. Maybe we get a crazy season. Maybe he's not happy with Jack. Maybe he's not happy with Franco. He decides to push. He decides to put Kush in one of the races. We could potentially have that, but it's a really, really long shot. As of now, the reserve drivers are more for marketing and all of those duties. So let's stick to that. Let's not get our hopes too high, but let's be optimistic. Will Lando win World Championship again? When did he win the first time? He's yet to win one. Bro, please confirm the news that Mercedes was collecting data for the new regulations in 2026 car from Lewis in 22 to 24. No, that's absolutely BS. They were collecting data in the first half of 2022 for their own car for that season and the next season. Nobody can literally collect data for 2026 as of now because still a lot of rules are to be written. The engine is completely different. So that is just a wild conspiracy theory that does not exist. Bhaiya, will you do F1 watch alongs? Please do it. No other Indian YouTuber is doing it. So actually, I don't know what you mean by watch alongs because the thing is that I cannot show the actual race on the stream, but we can be live during the race. I can show you the positions of all the drivers. That's what we can do. I've done that with sprint races in the last season. So my plan is to do this. I'm planning to do a watch along for the Australian Grand Prix. Make sure that you subscribe here and you also follow on Instagram so that you guys have an idea about when all of these things are going to happen. Red Bull is out of the 2025 fight. Red Bull might be, but I don't count Verstappen out. Are Ferrari sandbagging as per news? See, every team is sandbagging in the practice session, so there's no doubt about that. But with Ferrari, they've completely changed the front suspension approach of their car. So I'm going to make a reel about that later on, explaining what changes they've done. But basically, the point is they have changed a lot of things on the car. And for that, you need time, you need running to optimize it. So they are going to run into a couple of problems with respect to the setup and how to optimize the package more. And the only way to fix it is to drive the car more, learn more about it, and only then they will be able to do it. So they are struggling a little bit. I wouldn't say struggle. They are just, figuring out how to optimize their package for the best results. I'm a fan of Lewis, but I believe he will finish in third or fourth place. Very possible. I mean, I don't discount that. That would be a very realistic prediction. What are your thoughts on this? Red Bull could have dropped Sergio and given Daniel the seat for the rest of the season, so they could have been sure of Daniel's performance. I absolutely agree with that because they were not losing anything by putting Ricardo in that seat. I mean, either he was going to perform at the same level or he would have been slightly better, and the Constructors' Championship was, anyways, gone for a toss. So they could have done that. I definitely feel they could have done that. And I have no idea why they haven't. Apparently, there were some rumors that Liberty Media, Formula One, everybody was pushing Red Bull to keep Perez to sell tickets for the Mexican Grand Prix. Every year there is a conspiracy theory about this. So maybe, I don't know. Hulk podium. Man, he could not get a podium in a half decent car, like a sixth, seventh, decent car, sixth, seventh position car. How do you expect him to get a podium in Kick Sauber? I mean, if they start giving podiums from the back, then definitely he would get a podium. And I'm not doubting Hulk, it's Kick Sauber. That car is horrible. Alpine stronger or Haas? As of now, I would say I would put my bets on Haas. Will, with Lewis coming in, will Charles be the number two driver for Ferrari? That's not possible at all because even with Charles and Carlos, they never really, did uh, first driver, second driver, except in a couple of races if one driver was ahead. So I don't see that happening with Lewis. And you don't select first driver or second driver right from the start of the season unless you're Red Bull and you have a rookie. At Red Bull and Mercedes, you have one rookie and you have George and Max. Maybe they would prioritize them, but ideally, with every team, they see how the season progresses, which driver is ahead in the standing, which driver is fighting for the championship. Only then they would go and give number one, number two driver status. And in some teams like McLaren and I think Mercedes in the past, they did not even do that. Hamilton or Russell, who will finish ahead in the Drivers' Championship? Oh, definitely Hamilton, because I do feel that Ferrari is going to have a better car over the season than Mercedes. And in general, I think Hamilton should do well. What are your thoughts about Mercedes this year? I think Mercedes and Red Bull are going to fight for P3, P4 in the Constructors' Championship. Their car was not doing so great last year, and I don't think suddenly they're going to make a lot of movements in this year because throughout like the mid of 2025, most of the teams will shift their wind tunnel time for 2026. So I don't see them making a big jump, and they'll be third or fourth in the Constructors. Will McLaren again prioritize Piastri over Lando? They never did. They didn't prioritize Lando just in general, which I think was where they went a little bit wrong. But I think there is no number one driver in their team and they will take calls based on how the situation is. Lando manages T1 and he wins WDC. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that's true. Oscar contract extension. Yeah, I mean, it was bound to happen because McLaren and Oscar doing really well. Plus, now they are one of the fastest cars, and it puts them in a really nice spot for 2026 also. So, why gamble? Just extend the contract and be with the team. That's the best right now. Let me see some other questions, a lot of them. Kushmani is now in F1, bro. Yes, we just spoke about it. Wet race prediction. I mean, right now it's the weather is saying that there's going to be a wet race in Australia, but honestly, you can never say because the weather there changes so much. So we'll only have some more idea by Friday or Saturday. But if it's a wet race, then honestly, I do expect people like Max, Hamilton to be on top. If Red Bull is 60% of what the fastest car is, Max will win it again. Yeah, I doubt it because it's not that easy, especially if Ferrari and McLaren both are quite ahead, then it's not that easy. There's going to be a big constructors war between McLaren and Ferrari, plus WDC contenders will be Leclerc, Hamilton, Lando, Oscar, Max, because at the end of the day, car matters. Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you guys have followed the 2012 season, it was crazy down till the last race. And if we have like 4 or 5 people contending for the title, then what's better than that? That's good for me also. More viewership in F1, more subscribers, more followers. I would want that. Bro, who is your favorite driver? I have said this 100%. I have said this 100 times. And 100% my favorite driver is Lance Stroll because you need dedication to not be good in the sport for more than 7 years. Show up every day and drive that car. Where can we buy merch for a lower price? 8 10K for a t-shirt is too expensive. Sadly, F1 is expensive and the only, I mean, official merch is always too expensive and there is no workaround for that. Should we make some F1 merch? But I mean, it won't be with the team logos and everything. It has to be something else. But let me know if you guys have any ideas for merch. Jonathan Wheatley is the team principal for Kick Sauber. Yes, he was a part of the Red Bull team and now he's leading Kick Sauber. So I don't expect anything this year just because of that announcement. Their whole focus is on 2026 when Audi comes in. So this year is basically just something that they have to get through. Are Mercedes in the fight this year? I don't think so. No. Why not an offline watch along in Mumbai? There was one. I think I had gone to one last year. I think for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, I had gone to the fan code lights out. So yeah, there are some. I think there will be some more this year, and hopefully we can all meet in Mumbai or maybe in some other cities if it happens. Can you explain 2026 new regulations in short? So the aerodynamic regulations are a bit complicated, but basically the engine that is in the car is been there since 2014. So they are using more or less the same concept of the engine. So for 2026, that concept is changing now. So they want to go on sustainable fuels. They want to go increase the battery and the electric component of the engine. So there is more power coming from the electric part of the engine from the battery and then 50-50 from the engine battery. So all of these things are going on. So basically the engines are changing, which is you can say the heart of the car. So that's where a lot of teams could get it wrong, could get it right. Mercedes got it right in 2014 and that's why they dominated for so many years along with amazing aero. So yeah, let's see what happens. Once again, people are saying that Mercedes could have a dominant engine from 2026, but that's all talk right now and we can't be too sure. Where are you from? I am from Mumbai. Is this possible that Sainz gets the Mercedes seat and Antonelli to Williams? No, because Toto had multiple chances to get Carlos Sainz and he chose not to get him. So, and even when he was trying to approach Sainz, he was giving 1 year contract or I think not even a 2 year contract, like one year, 1+1 contract. So he's not that serious about Carlos. Thoughts about Williams? I have had experts say that they could end up at 5. No, they can't. Why didn't they show the Max Russell drama? Exactly what I was also thinking because they recorded it apparently. There were rumors that Netflix cameras were following them around and all of that, but we did not see even a single thing in the Drive to Survive season. I don't know, maybe both drivers would not have agreed to show it. I have no idea, but they should have gotten it, at least a little bit of the drama, because it was really funny. What do you think about Liam and Max lineup? Can it turn things around for Red Bull? I think Liam would perform better than Checo, but let's see. Never say, like, never be too confident. Will Alonso get his 33 this year? Absolutely not, because Aston is going to be worse this year than next year. I know Adrian Newey is on board, but Adrian Newey is not going to work on 2025 car. It would be very stupid to use his resources on the 25 car, and I think maybe 2026 is when he could get a shot at his 33. Let's see what else is there. How to convince my wife to get into F1? That's a good question, because if you figure out the answer, you let me know as well. Something about Sky F1 in India. What do you want to know about Sky F1 in India? Do you think Red Bull will recreate 2018 where the rookie and the experienced fight? I mean, I don't know. Max is on another planet right now. Like, planet is the right word to like. He's in his complete peak form, and if Liam can even like be extremely close to Max throughout the season, that would be a big compliment to his rookie season in Red Bull. Okay, my take on Sky F1. So I see a lot of hate for Sky F1 because they have a British bias and this and that. I honestly don't buy into it, because honestly every commentator is going to have an opinion. Every commentator is going to have a view on a crash. So sometimes it might be favoring your driver and sometimes it might not be favoring your driver. And that's why people just go on and on about them being biased. And I know that they are a British broadcasting company. Okay. So because of that, they have to cater to their fans in their country as well. So that's why they could talk more about their drivers like Hamilton, Norris, Russell, Oliver Behrman this year. So that's why you might feel they are biased. But I don't think there is an inherent bias in any of the publications, because if you go and see the Italian commentary is crazy about Ferrari. You might think they are biased for Ferrari. If you go and see the Dutch commentary, they absolutely love Verstappen. So there people feel that their commentary is a little bit biased towards Max. So it's gonna happen. It's just that because Sky Sports stream comes everywhere else, the English stream in a lot of places is Sky Sports. So that's why people might feel that they're biased. But I honestly don't think that, because imagine if we had an Indian driver in F1 right now. Do you think anyone from India commentating on the race can be completely unbiased? They can't. They have to talk about their driver more, because that's where their audience is coming from. So, yeah, it is what it is. Do you think Oscar is potentially a better driver than Lando? He's only raced for 1.5 years. Oscar is a really strong driver. So if you follow his junior series, he's won F3 in one season, F2 in one season. And the other drivers on the grid who have done that are George Russell, Charles Leclerc. So yeah, he's a very strong driver. I think Lando gets a lot more hate than he deserves. I think both of them could be really strong drivers, and it would be a fun title battle between them, even if McLaren turns out to be the most dominant car. I don't think one driver is completely going to overshadow the other one in the McLaren team. Will, wait, okay, wait, I lost the comments. Wait. Okay, shit, I think there were a lot of comments. Okay, yeah, I found them. F1 TV versus fan code, which is better for streaming. Okay. So That's a bit of a controversial question, but honestly, technically, if you want to see the races in 4K, F1 TV is the only option. And for that, also, you need to have Apple TV or Roku. Only then you can see the races in 4K, and the plan is 3,600 rupees per year. In comparison, if you see fan code is 1080p 50-60 fps, so that's once again a very good quality, because if you don't have Apple TV 4K or Roku, even F1 TV is going to be on those same settings, so the video quality is going to be same, and fan code is much more affordable. I mean, the pricing is really good, so it depends on what you want. If you're going to watch at 1080p, then might as well stick to fan code, and only if you are a complete enthusiast with a lot of expensive equipment, then F1 TV makes sense for you. Because last season I did see a lot of races on fan code, and I personally did find the streaming quality fine. So for majority of the people, I think fan code is the right option, because the price to performance ratio that you get is really good here, and that should be it for most of the fans. Max retiring after the contract is over. That is highly possible, because multiple times Max has said that he doesn't see himself racing in his late 30s or 40s. He wants to try out other, other types of racings, also endurance championship and all of that. Plus, I think he's becoming a dad now. So definitely he would want to take time off. And I don't see him being in F1 7-8 years down the line. And I think it's good for him, honestly. Like he has probably achieved everything that he wanted. Maybe if he wants to go for that 7 titles in his career, 8 titles in a career, then maybe he would stay. But I think he cares more about his racing in other places as well. He loves sim racing. He is coming up with his own team there, so I think he has a lot of stuff going around. So I don't see him sticking around for long. Any plans for gameplay videos on this channel? So I have just shifted into this setup a couple of like months, I would not even say months, a couple of weeks ago, and I have to bring my racing wheel and all of those things here. And after that, yes, there is plan to stream things, but I am not very good on the wheel yet, and I feel that if I stream while I'm not good on the game, people would not really like it. So that's why I'm holding myself off from streaming, but maybe down the line. Do you really think Charles can win the championship this year if Red Bull doesn't perform? Maybe, but what about McLaren? He has to still fight them. There are still 80 people watching, man. That's quite good. I did not expect so many people to show up. I don't know if that's a lot or that's too less. Do you like F1 for the drama or the tech? Because I seriously want Verstappen and Lawson to fight this season. I just like F1 for the cars and racing, man. I've loved cars since I was a kid, and all of these things are just cherry on top. Even when there was no drama in like seasons like 2023, where it was quite boring, I was still watching and enjoying every single race. Thoughts on Cadillac entering next year? I think they're going to be using Ferrari engines. So, engine wise, they should be sorted, but they have a lot of things to figure out, because they have to figure out the drivers. They probably want to push American drivers. So, I don't know. They might not, be on the top anywhere. I think they'll be seventh, eighth, ninth, or something like that. Yes, true that. Every commentary is sort of biased to their own country. Yeah, it happens everywhere. And sometimes it's not biasness. It's just, just an opinion. Like tomorrow, if Max and Norris crash, and in that crash, I feel that Max was at fault, all of the Max fans are gonna hate me. But at the same time, if I think Norris was at fault and I say that, Norris fans are gonna hate me. So You're gonna get hate regardless when you make commentary on things like these. You just have to brush it off and move on. Fan code, coupon code. Actually, there is no coupon code. I put a reel where there was an early bird discount before 20th Feb. I think I put out a reel. So at that time, there was an early bird offer going on. But currently, I don't have any coupon codes. But still, you can, see on Instagram anytime if I have something, I'll update you guys. Just say it was Ocon's fault, so both fans will be mad at you. I mean, 5 second penalty to Ocon is getting really lame. I hope that we don't continue that joke in 2025. Probably they might take Vettel because there are rumors about his return. I mean, that is just for headlines and to get all of the clicks. I don't think Vettel is coming back. He has not made his intentions anywhere that he wants to come back. So, and even if he comes back, going to Cadillac does not make any sense to me. Maybe there was a link to Audi because he's a German driver and they are a German team. Maybe, but not really. I don't see him coming back to Cadillac. Are you expecting anything from Audi? They've got Binotto. They might get Carlos next year. No, they're not getting Carlos next year. With Williams, it was a multi-year deal. And next year, first of all, they have to prove themselves that they are a decent team. And they've already started cribbing that we might be at the back foot for the couple of years and we will take time because they are making their own engine. So it's a big question mark right now. But Binotto is a very good engineer and that's what he's doing at Audi. So let's see. 4K, talk about the 4K. F1 TV Premium is the only way for 4K. Anyways, I'm going to take questions for the next 10 minutes and then we'll wrap up the stream. So if you guys have any more questions, drop them quickly in the chat. What about Oscar winning the Drivers' Championship? Fairly possible. He's a great driver and he's won championships in his junior formulas. So I don't see why he wouldn't challenge this year if he has the car for it. Your opinion on Haas, completely underrated team, especially last year. Their new team principal has done a lot of work, and the credit should also go to Gunther because it's not like the team principal has suddenly made changes. Gunther was also there, and these sort of things trickle down over the years. So, but I would still say Ayo Komatsu is doing an absolutely great job and I think they're quite underrated team and they are operating well now. They have good sponsors on the table. Initially they had so less money that they were not even hitting the cost cap, so now they are hitting the cost cap. They have that budget and now they are cleverly working on their car. So I think they are good. Fifth, sixth best case possible this season. I mean fifth, sixth in the constructors championship. Will Kushmaini get to race a Grand Prix if any Alpine driver falls sick? I don't think so because Alpine has more or less like four reserve drivers now. So a lot of people in succession have to fall sick for Kush to even get a chance to be in that seat. Max might achieve the triple crown of motorsports in the future. Thoughts? Yeah, he loves racing. He loves motorsports. He's going to do that. Do you watch endurance racing? No, I don't. I haven't. Why these many Red Bull employees are leaving? Is it because of the Christian Horner controversy? No, actually, it's just your typical brain drain that happens. It happened to Mercedes in 2021 and 2022. A lot of people jumped ship to other teams, and the same thing is happening to Red Bull. It happens to every team because eventually. You want better roles, and all of these teams have good people at the top which they don't want to replace that easily, so you have to go to another team to get that promotion. If Kimi doesn't perform well, can we see signs on his seat? I don't think so. No. Okay, that's a lot of questions. Wait. 16 Pro का review लाओ. Oh no, that's looks like a subscriber from my tech channel. But no man, not working on any smartphone reviews as of now. Will Verstappen have any chance of winning the fifth title? Of course, I mean, everybody has a chance, and Max is very good right now. But if he wins the fifth title this year, that would be really epic, especially if the car is not that fast. F1 मूवी का ट्रेलर आ रहा है कल. व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट इट? I don't know. I hope they executed well. Hamilton is producing it and they've shot a lot of footage throughout the races on the track with all of the real drivers. So I have some hope about it, but let's see. F1 4K will be on Android TV just before Australia race. I hope that happens. Can we get double DNF from a team in Australia? That's possible. I mean, Red Bull got a DNF in 2022 first race. So possible. What else is left? Wait, I am a little confused with all of the chat right now. Any collabs planned? No, bro, not really. I would love to collab with someone working in the F1 industry, like a driver or a team principal. Would love to have them on a podcast, but no other plans as of now. I just want to do watch alongs this year and create a community here on YouTube, and then let's see where that takes us. Hopefully, attend a race or two. Do you think Liam Lawson becomes another victim of failed teammate of Max? I don't think saying victim is the right thing. I think it would take a really strong mentality to go up against Max. And I know that Checo kind of did not perform well in this season, in the last season, but initially he was doing quite well. So it's not that no driver can go up to Max. I think if you just stick to your own thing and do your own thing and not try to beat Max, then you might be able to do well. Logan Sargent का comeback होगा? No, 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 not at all. Can we please see your race analysis after the race in 2025? It's actually amazing. Yeah, actually, I have a plan to make race reviews after every race this year. So yeah, that's coming. What are your opinions on F1 TV premium plan? I made a reel about it. I think it's kind of half-assed right now because I feel they should have gone with 4K on every device. This rollout is a little bit weird. Pricing I think is fine in India. Of course it's expensive, but if you compare it to other countries, it's a lot less it's a lot less cheaper. A lot of people outside of India are buying the subscription through India so that they get it at a lesser price. What is your take on the FIA precedent? Yeah, I mean, kind of controversial, and I would not want to talk more about it because honestly, we don't know what goes down at the end. But these recent things that banning the drivers who swear and all, that's a bit too much. I don't think that should happen. Just let the drivers be, just let F1 be. There is no need for so many strict rules because these are all adults racing at 300 kilometers an hour and higher, putting their lives at risk every other weekend. So I think this much leeway is okay. Like, don't irritate them about swearing. Do you also watch football? No. You can try sim racing. That is the plan. That is the plan to do in 2025. Any regulations you're pissed about? Not really. Like, if you're talking about technical regulations, then no. If you're talking about these new rules where drivers are not allowed to swear and all of that, then of course, yeah, I'm irritated about that. More watch alongs, please, this year. Yeah, that's the plan. Why didn't any big team gave a shot to Bortoleto? He was an F2 champion. Because honestly, no big team can risk that much right now. The only teams who had a chance to put a rookie in were Mercedes and Red Bull, and they already have their own junior lineup. So I don't know why would they go outside and pick another driver. Let me take a couple of questions more, and now I think I'll close the stream. Max moving to Mercedes if Red Bull ends below third. I don't know. I think he's going to be in Red Bull for 2026, and in 2026 he'll get an idea that which team has gotten a good engine, and I think based on that he'll be making his move. Hamilton and Ferrari and Mark Marquez and factory Ducati legends doing comeback. Any thoughts? I actually don't follow MotoGP. I don't even know how to drive a two-wheeler. I only know how to drive a car. Never been a fan of two-wheelers. So I cannot comment on MotoGP. We want sim racing setup video because it's hard and expensive to buy. The Logitech wheel is the one I have, G29. And it's a funny thing, I got it in 2021 and then back then I think it was 20 to 23,000, and since then it has just gone up in pricing. So that's a weird thing. Usually these things drop in pricing. This has just gone up. Anyways, I is there a free trial for F1 TV premium plan? I'm actually not sure. You'll have to make a new account and check if it's available. I don't think there is. And I guess we are done. So thank you for all of the questions. Thank you for joining the live stream. This was fun. Would you guys like a quali watch along for the Australian Grand Prix, like quali and a race watch along? Because it's quite early in the morning. I hope all of you are waking up for the race, Sunday 9:30 a.m. So let me know if you guys would like to see a watch along. Let me know. And what else? I just joined. Funny. It's been an hour since I started, bro. Don't worry, but there are more streams coming in. You can join in. But I'm actually honestly not sure that what am I supposed to do during the watch along, because it's like 1 hour, 2 hours of just following everything. And I don't know. I think it might get boring, but yeah. What about Kimi? What about Kimi? I mean, he's a rookie. Let's see how he performs. I have no predictions for him. I only know that he could potentially be the best performing rookie in 2025. Yeah. Watch along on which platform? It's going to be here on the YouTube channel. By watch along, I won't be showing the race. You can't do that. Copyrights. So yeah, it'll just be the leaderboard, the stats, and just me talking and reacting to stuff live on the race. What do you think? Max can retain his title? You will have to scroll back and see the live stream again. This has been already addressed. Yeah. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for joining the stream. I had fun and I hope I can do more of these. Now that we are in a new setup, I can do the live streams late in the night, early in the morning. So I hope to see you guys more. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to the channel. And also don't forget to follow me on Instagram at your F1 guy. And also comment on this video. What else would you like to see in terms of content? Apart from watch alongs and live streams, what videos you would like to see on the channel? Let me know. And yeah, so I'm signing off. I'll catch up with you guys in the next stream. And I hope we all have fun in the Australian Grand Prix and we get unexpected results. Ending the stream now. Bye bye.